Time. We both get up from our chairs at the same time. If I want to end this match as soon as possible, then my goal should be to break his serve. I've had enough time to get used to his tricky style. Not only that, he feels like he's slipping. He's getting impatient, and that shows. I should use that to my advantage to break his serve. We both get to our positions. K-kun sends the ball high before striking it, hitting a strong flat serve to the center of the court. I was already expecting him to do something like that. People tend to put too much force on the shot when they're angry whilst ignoring spin and placement. Having gotten to the ball a lot earlier, I have ample time to prepare, hitting my strongest shot back at him. The ball hits the ground and bounces away from his reach, scoring me a return ace. It seems that with each passing moment, K-kun becomes more and more agitated. He should really try to calm down. Playing like this is only going to drag him down further. Love 15! Well, can't be helped. If he's not trying to help himself, there isn't anything I can do to help him. And to be honest, I feel that he'd fly off the rails if I did try. K-kun takes a while to get into position. He starts tying his shoes repeatedly, probably trying to calm himself down. Well, he definitely looks to have calmed down a bit. He serves the ball again, shooting a slice serve towards the center. If it weren't for the spin on the ball, that would have practically be a body shot. As soon as the ball gets close, I sidestep it and hit an angled shot to the side of the court. The ball practically paints the line, bouncing very high from all the topspin I put on it. I really have to be more careful with my spin shots. They're barely going in right now. I might actually make a mistake if I keep going like this. K-kun reaches in and effortlessly hits it back at me with another slice, going right at the center of the court. I hit it back with as much power as I can whilst aiming cross-court, but can't get a good contact with the ball and it ends up hitting the upper part of the net. We were both taken by surprise. The ball topples down to K-kun's side of the court. He dashes over to the net in an attempt to reach it, but ends up being too late. Love 30! Sorry about that. I apologize, as it's the proper thing to do. It's fine. He nearly spits those words out. That's how angry he is right now. I'm sure he doesn't blame me for it, but it's hard to keep your feelings in check when you're under pressure. K-kun serves a strong flat, this time aiming wide. I dash towards the ball and hit it back, but since I can't get a good position, the ball ends up being too weak. K-kun reaches in and puts it away in an instant. 15-30! My return was pretty terrible, so there wasn't anything I could do. Keisuke might not look like it, but he's certainly a high-level player. If I give him any openings, he'll certainly go for them in an instant. K-kun serves once again. This time I have a much easier time reaching it. I return an angled shot that hits the ground before the service line and bounces away from the court. K-kun is caught by surprise and has to rush to the ball. Right after striking, he runs up to the net, probably to try and restrict the angle of my return, but I'm one step ahead of him. Right as he reaches the net, I lob the ball high over his head. He immediately starts running back, and I don't doubt for a second that he will reach. He manages to hit the ball at the last second, barely putting any power to it as the ball bounces a few centimeters away from the net. I reach it before its first bounce, and right after it goes high again, I hit it with a drop shot. Since I dropped the ball while being so close to the net, there's barely any power left in it. K-kun doesn't even make it to the service line before it double bounces. The first years erupt in cheers, and I'm pretty sure some of the second and third years join them in it. I said shut up! Well, she certainly has a way of handling the crowd. That way is fear. 1540. It seems that the pressure is starting to get to him. His face is a completely open book. No matter how he looks at it, I've been dominating him on his service game and he can't do a thing about it. Right now, he would have to score twice in a row just to get us to deuce. I definitely hold the advantage here. He serves the ball again, but just like his first serve of this game, he was so anxious to finish things fast that he got predictable. I easily anticipated and put the ball away with a return ace. Game Michimiya! Game count 5-1. Michimiya leads. As if he had lost all the drive that fueled him so far, Keisuke's shoulders sags. I don't blame him for being discouraged, but right now he looks as if he's already been defeated. What happened to try your best until the end? What's the point of continuing to play when you've already given up? Ugh. I'm starting to get angry because of his attitude. I'll just finish this soon so we can both stop this miserable match. Game, set, and match! Won by Michimiya! Count 6-1! Saya has barely finished announcing the score and Keisuke has already walked out of the court, stuffing his racket back into his bag and slipping away with it. Saya doesn't miss a beat, getting down from her seat and walking after him in a rush. Tennis players really have glass hearts sometimes. A little crowd of freshmen gathers around me, showering me with praise and admiration, and using this as an opportunity to ask for tips. I make no effort to listen, walking towards the locker room. Just want to rest. I don't care. And right there, standing in front of the door, is Shoichi. Man, you're heartless. Don't you know how to go easy on people? It's good to do it every now and then. Sure. Then I'd have him getting mad at me for underestimating him. He shrugs. The cheering over here was so loud that we could hear it from our side of the building. Coach asked me to come over and see what the fuss was about. Although, I ended up sticking around to watch you play. You sure are carefree with your duties, huh? I enjoy watching you play. Why are you so surprised? I have to ask, though. Why didn't you tell me you'd be playing against Urushihara? Saya didn't tell me. She decided to keep it a secret until the last minute because I was, as she says it, a flight risk. Sounds about right. Hey! Sorry, but I think she's right. I imagine you'd have gone home the first chance you got if you knew about this. After all, you've been talking about how annoying it is to play against Urushihara since you first watched him practice. That's only partly true. Oh, really? What part of what I said was wrong? Shut up. It's easy to rile up as usual. Oh, right, I nearly forgot. Here. Shuichi holds me a can. I can see beads of condensation rolling down from it. It must be really cold. I picked up an energy drink for you. I figured you want one after the match. I know orange is your favorite, so I picked that one. Ooh, thanks. You're a real lifesaver. I immediately start drinking it down without a care in the world. In just a few seconds, the entire can has already been emptied. Wow, were you really that thirsty? You have no idea. Without a warning, Shuichi puts a hand on my head and begins to casually pet me. I don't even notice that's what he's doing until he's already started. At which point, I'm so shocked by his complete lack of self-consciousness about the whole thing. If there's one thing that guy needs to be said about him, it's that he's a very touchy-feely kind of guy. Myself, Saya, his sister, and even Keisuke, on the rare occasion they're not going at each other's throats, have already been made victims to this. It wouldn't be half bad if he kept these things to private places either, but somehow he always tries to pull them off in public. As soon as I snap back to reality, I slap his hand away from my head, just as he had begun tugging on my ears. Aw, no fun. Jeez. You'd figure I killed his pet from the way he just reacted. It's not even like I minded in the first place. I just don't like when he pulls this sort of stunt in public. Well, what can you do? For some reason, he seems to find my rejection funny. I don't like being messed with in public, you know that. Sorry. I'll try to refrain from doing it again. That's a lie. By the way, what did you think of Urushihara? This was the first time you played against him since the Prefecturals tournament last year, wasn't it? I turn around to look for Keikun, but can't seem to find him. I don't know. He's a good player. I'll give him that, but I don't think he's ready for a major competition just yet. He'd probably get destroyed by the higher ranking players. Didn't he lose on the first round of at last year's national tournament? Yeah, that's exactly what I meant by it. I suppose you're right. I kind of feel bad about him, though. What Shuichi is talking about is last year's All Japan Youth Tournament, the most important tournament in Japan for tennis players under the age of 18. Keisuke managed to qualify for it last year. Unfortunately for him, though, he got matched up against the number 4 player on the first round and lost without taking a single set. Competition for that event is brutal. I myself got all the way to the finals, but lost to Takagi Tanabe, the number 1 player in the national rank. Urushihara sure got unlucky, huh? I nod, pursing my lips. This sort of thing happens every now and then. If you want to be safe and have an easier time on the first rounds, you need to be a seeded player. Keikun is gonna have to try and get a seed rank this year. That's pretty much the only thing he can do. What would he need to do to become seeded? Considering his current rank, he'd have to win at the Saitama Prefecture tournament and then place in the top 4 for the Kanto tournament. And since we know for a fact he's not going to win the Prefectural, where should he finish on the regional to get a seed? Second place. Shuichi whistles in admiration. Urushihara is pretty much screwed, huh? It just goes to show, being number 2 in Saitama doesn't really mean much. The competition here is pretty light compared to the other areas of the country. Yeah, that's true. Right now, Tokyo and Hokkaido have the highest concentration of high-ranked players. Saitama is somewhere in the lower end of the rankings. You're probably the only reason Saitama isn't dead last. I wouldn't go that far. Well, I honestly don't think the level of players in our area has fallen. I think the competition has just improved a lot. What do you mean? I mean that the current generation is probably much stronger than the last ones. Back when I was still a freshman in high school, I'd routinely beat juniors and seniors. It was against the other freshmen that I struggled. Huh. I never really thought of it like that. Kinda sucks when you're trying to go pro and have a hard time standing out. Not that you're having a problem like that, of course. You already stand out plenty. Ah, yes. Shuichi is one of the few people I've told of my desire to go pro. So far, I've only told my family, my coach, and a few close friends. Of course, most of the people involved in the tennis scene already expect me to go pro, so it's not like there's much of a difference. But even at the risk of sounding superstitious, I'm afraid that if I tell many people, I'll end up jinxing it. What about you? Have you decided when you're going to go pro yet? I already told you I'm not. Have I ever mentioned that that's a stupid idea? Yes, many times. Too many, in fact. Ugh, he's too stubborn. Shuichi is one of the best volleyball players in the country, and yet he refuses to even consider the possibility of becoming a professional player. It's just so much wasted potential. I can already tell what you're thinking, so I'll just stop you right there. I'm not in the mood to have another discussion on me becoming a professional. Why not? Instead, I'd rather talk about something a little more important. Oh? Like what? He really knows how to rope me into changing the subject of conversation. Use my curiosity against me. Your progress. or lack thereof. I honestly don't see much improvement at all from last year. What happened to you? I was thinking the same thing. I throw the now empty can of sports drink into the nearby trash, where it falls inside with a satisfying clink. I know I ask this a lot, but are you okay? Are you sure you're not going through any trouble? I'm fine, big guy. I guess I'm just not putting in enough work, that's all. I'm honestly not as convinced of the truth of my words as I might sound. Just thinking about some of the guys I'll have to face again this year almost invokes a feeling of dread. Hopefully this year you'll be able to turn things around. Tanabe isn't invincible. I'm sure you can beat him if you try hard enough. I'm not so sure of that either. Yeah, I suppose. How about we cut this conversation here, though? I'd rather not think about all this stuff right now. Sure thing. In that case, how about you get into the locker room and at least towel yourself off? No offense, but you're smelling kind of ripe. He says that with the most innocent smile in the world, even though he was definitely taking a jab at me to tease me. Wow, thanks for the delicacy on the matter. Alright, I'll rephrase that. Dude, you fucking stink. Don't you ever fucking shower? Never mind. Shoichi stands there grinning like an idiot, his tail wagging left and right. I have to give him props for being able to be so cheery about everything. Heading into the locker room, I notice that it's mostly empty save for 2 members of the volleyball club. The only reason I can even tell who they are is because they have the team shirts on them. Tomita, Ayano, the locker room isn't a break room. Stop slacking off and go get back to practice. The two look at Shoichi with a scared look before dashing away and back into the volleyball courts. Aren't you slacking off too? They don't need to know that. Demon. Shoichi flicks me in the forehead, sending a small jolt over my entire body. What was that for? You think too loud. I can tell that you're thinking bad things of me just by the look on your face. Am I really that transparent? To me, you are. I don't think this is something to be happy about. You don't have to wait around for me to leave. But it's more fun this way. As always, I can't understand what goes on in his head. You're just staying around because you want to get a private show, aren't you? Shoichi chuckles, leaning his back against a nearby locker. I wish. But I know the mere thought of getting changed in a public locker already makes you squeamish. What? No, it doesn't. I do it all the time, you know? It does. It makes me so squeamish. But I'd die before admitting that to that. Jeez. You're sighing and pouting so much. Shouldn't you be happier that you just got a victory? You're making too much fuss out of something minor. It was just a practice match after all. Oh, please. Both are just as important to you. You always say that, remember? I guess. You're being too negative here. Look on the bright side. Now you know that you can easily beat Urushihara in an official match. Isn't it great? I wouldn't go that far. I was lucky that I managed to do so well today. I wouldn't bet my chips on it happening again. Keikun might not be as skilled, but his tricky style and strategies can corner you if you're not careful. Suddenly, the sound of metal banging on metal echoes through the locker, catching us both by surprise. We both turn around to see Keisuke, staring at us with a face that spells out impending doom. I don't think I've ever seen him this mad before. Oh, Urushihara, it's just you. I was afraid someone fell out onto a locker or something. You can't do this, you know. Wait, what? You can't do this, you know. You've got to respect school property. I'm asking myself the same question. When the hell did he get here? Did he pass by us while we were talking and we didn't notice? I know for a fact that he wasn't here when we walked into the room. Although, from the look on Shuichi's eyes, I can already guess that he knew Keikun was here and said those things on purpose. In hindsight, I should have seen this one coming. Shuichi isn't the type to make light of a person's skills, so I should have imagined he was plotting something. I'm sorry if I made such a poor opponent. I'll try to do better next time, Your Highness. Don't be silly. We both know such a thing would be impossible. Oh boy. Are these two going to go at it again? These two seem to look for every opportunity to take a jab at each other. I don't know how these two manage to be friends when they behave so poorly around each other. Oh, really? And what exactly do you mean by that? I feel like I shouldn't be so calm in a situation like this. But then again, I've already seen this happen so many times that I feel like I've become jaded. I want to go home and be done with this. I mean, come on. This is Yuichi we're talking about. You might be good, but you can't possibly think you could compare, right? Now that would just be crazy. Why do I get the feeling that I've turned into a babysitter over the past year? Maybe I should just cut them off now and avoid any escalation. Yes. Enough! My sudden shouting makes them both jump back in surprise. A look of complete shock on their faces. Wait, isn't this a little much? All I did was shout a little. What are you two looking so surprised for? No. Don't let yourself calm down. Keep up the strict persona. They need to be taught a lesson. That is it. I have had it with the two of you. You guys have any idea how much of a nightmare it was during the entire break? Saya and I kept having to run around and keep you two from killing each other. We didn't get to relax whatsoever for that whole time. That's it. I'm done. I'm not going to deal with you two anymore. Either you two apologize to each other right now and stop behaving like little children, or I'm done dealing with either of you. I know I was just shouting, but someone please say something? Shuichi is the first to recompose himself. He clears his throat, looking at me with an apologetic expression. Sorry, Yuichi. I guess we crossed the line. I'm sorry we troubled you so much. And, I'm sorry to you, Urushihara. I shouldn't have provoked you like that. It was childish of me. It seems that seeing Shuichi apologize has somehow snapped Keisuke back to reality. But what's with that look on his face? Don't you use this as another chance to pick a fight, or I swear I'm gonna slap you. I'm sorry, Urata. I let my emotions get the better of me. Please forgive me, for all of the spring break. You too, Yuichi-san. This went way beyond my wildest dreams. I never expected these two to apologize so sincerely to each other. I mean, forgetting the fact that they're not even looking at each other in the eye. It's fine if you two avoid doing this kind of thing again. Honestly, what is it with you two anyway? Why do you keep pulling stuff like this? Well, teasing Urushihara is kind of fun. Though I guess I've been going a little overboard. And I guess I have fun antagonizing Urata too. It's a bit refreshing when he acts that way. I can't tell if you two are supposed to be fighting or playing around anymore. What are you two? 9? Like I said, avoid pulling this kind of crap in the future and it'll be fine. You two are friends, for God's sake, act like it. Will do. Yeah, got the message loud and clear. Well, anyway, I have some things I need to do and I should really get to them. See you two later. Keikun drops his towel on top of his bag and runs back to the courts in a hurry. Poor bastard. Huh? What? It's beyond me to be worrying about Urishihara, but this is the first time you've ever yelled at him. You probably traumatized the poor guy. Now he's a poor guy? I was yelling at you, too. How come he's the only one getting traumatized? Oh, please. How long do you think I've known you for? I'm used to getting yelled at. That's not a good thing to get used to. Well, I should probably get back to my own practice, I guess. Sorry again for today. I'll see you later. See ya. I think I was too hard on them. I tried to do something I'm not used to doing and I messed up. I guess at least now I can have my peace. I'm not really in a mood to continue practice today. I think I'm just gonna tell Saya that I'm leaving early for the day. I finish toweling myself off and head back to the courts. I'm starting to think I should have done a better job of wiping myself dry. Not that it matters since I'll be heading home soon. I don't really smell bad. My deodorant was pretty strong, so I doubt anyone could smell anything over it. I'll just grin and bear this damp feeling. Where's Saya, though? Ah, there she is. Ah, Keikun's there, too. He seems a bit tense. What are they talking about? Keikun is the first to notice me approaching. His eyes widen when he sees me. He's totally avoiding looking at me. He bows to Saya as if he were apologizing for something and then promptly leaves. Saya stares at his fleeing figure completely slack-jawed. What was that about? Just then, she seems to finally take notice of me and her eyes light up. Ah, Yuichi-kun. That was a great match you two had. It really had my heart racing. I wish I could watch you play more often. Why don't you start watching my tournament matches more often then? I'd like to, but we always end up scheduled for matches at the same time. And yours are always over before mine. Saya bites her lip, looking over at the door to the locker room again. Say, do you know if anything's happened to Keisuke? He was looking a bit uncomfortable. Doesn't he always? Nothing much. I just diffused another Kei Shuichi situation. Another one? They're almost adults already. They really should behave more like it. Look who's talking. That's not what I came over to talk to you about, though. Oh, what's up then? I'm heading out for the day. Just then, her smile freezes in place. Almost as if she were expecting me to add a "just kidding" to the sentence. Could you please not react so damn dramatically to everyday news? You're kidding me, right? Could you stick around for a bit longer? Practice is only gonna run for 2 more hours. Hey, I did my part. I played in that stupid match even though I didn't want to. You can't possibly need me for anything else. Saya looks up at me with pleading eyes. There is something else you want, isn't there? So transparent. I was hoping you could stick around to instruct the new players. Pretty please. I haven't managed to do my own practice because I keep having to help the others. I don't want to be a poor sport, but you knew this would happen when you took the position of captain. Come on. You know what our coach is like. Well, that's true. But I just thought since you're the vice captain and all. So she wants to force me to do the work she initially agreed to do under the excuse that I'm the vice captain. Even though she's the one that forced me to take the position in the first place. What's the one thing I made you promise when I accepted this position? She continues to stare at me, but the smile on her face is disappearing ever so slowly. Wasn't it you who said all I had to do was make sure the other club members followed the rules and, other than that, I was free to do whatever I wanted? Yeah, but wasn't it also you who said that my own training would take precedence over whatever it was I had to do for the club? Sure, but isn't resting after a particularly tough training session also a very important part of practice? She's biting her lip in frustration. I feel a bit bad for not letting her speak, but knowing her, she just used this as a chance to guilt trip me into helping. And I'm not dealing with that right now. Saya-chan sighs, her whole body slumping forward as she pouts. Fine, I understand. You can go. And you're not going to use this against me in the future? Or she looks away, biting her lip. Caught you. No, I won't. I did promise to let you do as you please. Victory. I guess I better get back to it then. I already see someone beckoning me over. See you tomorrow. See ya. Knowing her, I better leave before she has a change of heart. Once I step out of the training building, the warm, orange-colored sun rays touch upon my skin. It feels really good. The orange-tinted sky looks so gentle and mild. Today really is a beautiful day. Oh God, there's so many extra characters. There you are. Eh? I hear a nearby voice and reflexively turn around. Standing before me are 3 of my classmates. Jin? Den? Rep? The fox smiles at me. Her smile is warm and kind, almost the same as this afternoon's sun. She makes me feel at ease. What a coincidence, Yuichi-kun. I was just looking for you. For me? What could you possibly need from me? Wait, it's not bad news, is it? She softly giggles, crossing her arms. That's right, her name is Ayako Kitsunegawa. She is our class president this year, once again. She might seem like the calm and collected type, but she's very much a bona fide sadist. But those personality quirks aside, she's usually a very caring and responsible person. Most of us have been in her care since our freshman year. To be honest, there have been very few changes to our class since we joined the school. Other than Shuichi being bumped up to the advanced class, that is. I'm sure, but I just might be the bearer of bad news. I've been sent here on official business. I should have guessed. You never come to me when it's good news. Well, now that's a bit unfair, isn't it? Despite dreading whatever news she might be about to give, her laugh certainly makes me feel less anxious. But... not to be a negative Nancy, but if you're here on official business, then what are these 2 doing here? What? These 2? And after we went through all the trouble to track you down? We had club work to attend to, you know? Jin sure is rowdy even this late in the afternoon. Don't mind him, Yuichi-kun. We were actually heading home early when we bumped into Ayako-chan. She asked us to keep watch at the exit of the men's locker room while she went to the other side. Nissan, don't blab to him. On me to him. Also, since when do you call her Chan? Ah, that makes sense. Since this used to be an all-boys academy up until a few years ago, not all the buildings have been retrofitted to accommodate female locker rooms. Originally, the tennis/volleyball courts actually had the 2 lockers on separate ends of the building to separate the different clubs. But now the guys and girls of both clubs share lockers instead, and doors were built into the locker rooms so they could access both courts. Ah, I see. So you were going to work as a glorified doorman while the rep went in through the girls' locker room to look for me, huh? No, it's not like that. Well, doesn't he like to sound important? Class rep giggles again. She hasn't said anything and just settled into watching these 2 bicker. Did she bring them along in the hopes that she'd get to see this very same situation unfold? Whoa, she really is a sadist. By the way, these 2 guys in front of me might not look like it, but they're actually twin brothers. The larger one, Genichiro Nezumiro, is the eldest of the 2. He's much more mellow and easy to deal with than his brother. But despite this all, he can be really intense when it comes to food. The other, Genichiro Nezumiro, is definitely one of the rowdiest people I've ever met. He's slow, dim, and has a short fuse. But despite these shortcomings, the 2 of them are genuinely nice people. And I definitely enjoy spending time with them every now and then. So, class rep, what exactly did you come here to tell me? Ah, right, that's right, sorry. I was having so much fun with this atmosphere that I forgot. I'm sure you were purposefully staying out of it so you could watch them bicker for a while longer. To be honest, Katsuragi-sensei asked me to come fetch you. She didn't tell me exactly what's going on, but it was something about today's morning assembly. Oh, yeah, that's right. You skipped today again. I imagine she's probably pissed. I don't think she would have minded it so much if you actually bothered to show up to any of the meetings organized over the school year. Well, I can't help it. These are all so boring. Well, that definitely sounds like something you'd say. Well, you shouldn't worry too much. I've done my best to smooth things over with her, so she's only a little annoyed now. Wow, really? That's so nice of you, class rep. Hey, it really is. How come you never try to smooth things over for me when I'm the one getting in trouble? Once you become an important asset to this school's reputation like Yuichi-kun, then I just might. What? Don't say that, Ayako-chan. It's not Chan. Please refer to me as Kutsunagawa-san or class rep. You're kidding! I don't even get to call you by your first name? Even though her words might have sounded harsh, she had a wide grin on her face. No doubt about it, she's only doing it to tease Jin. And he's so dumb that he's falling for it. Jin, maybe we should head home already. I guess so. I've got a mountain of homework to do, too. Oh my, a mountain. I don't remember being assigned any homework today. Well, that's because he slacked off last year and didn't actually finish all the credits he needed to pass. So he's having to deal with them now. Oh my. I'm surprised the school even allowed him to do that. Nissan? You didn't have to tell her that much. These 2 sure are full of energy every day. I didn't even realize how much I missed their attitude during spring break. How can I put it? Seeing them like this is kinda refreshing. I'm not all that surprised that he was given an extension, though. Our school is pretty lax when it comes to people in the athlete programs. We get tons of exposure from them after all. We have some of the best teams in the country in multiple sports. Well, this was a fun little chat, but I guess I really should get going to the faculty office. Sensei's mood is probably just gonna get worse if I make her wait. That's probably a wise decision. Yeah, dude. It was an honor meeting you. Don't just write me off like that. Hey, Yuichi-kun? How about we grab a bite to eat together again one of these days? Sure. Show me to another nice restaurant and I'll take you up on that offer. Okay, it's a deal. Nii-san, how come you're so buddy-buddy with Yuichi-san? I'm kinda jealous. I'd rather avoid this unpleasant encounter, but given that class rep was the one tasked with giving me the message, I'm sure there's no way I could go home without her reporting the fact that she managed to pass it along. In other words, I'm dead anyway. Might as well go peacefully. I walk into the main building. By the way, other than the multiple minor buildings for the different athletic departments, our school is divided into 3 main buildings. There's the main building, which, among others, houses the faculty office and the club rooms for the most high-profile clubs, or the ones with the most expensive equipment. Then there's the classroom building. It's a much smaller building with only 3 floors, one for each of the grades. Over here in our school, each grade is divided from A to E, so we have 15 classrooms in total, 5 for each floor. The senior year is a little different in that the A class is specifically for advanced studies. It's where they house the most promising students and pass them along classes designed to prepare for college entrance exams and college life in general. Now, of course, joining 3A isn't mandatory, and there are always a few students that decline it. Class rep was also offered a spot with them, but she refused. Said something about wanting to see her duties as class representative to the end. Oh, and the third building is the club building. It's where most of the other clubs are located. Our school is pretty well known in the country, and we have lots of people applying every year. Just getting in is quite difficult. Well, it goes without saying that I had no issue with our entrance exam. Some of the students in here might look like a bunch of good-for-nothings, but everyone needs to have some measure of intelligence to get in. Although, I still have my doubts when it comes to Jin. God, how many classmates are you making me do today? Right ahead of me, walking over to the entrance, are 2 other classmates of mine. Kyoko-san, Ryoji. What are you 2 doing here? And, wait, why are you 2 together? The girl, Kyoko Nekonishi, fires a threatening glare at me. Despite her looks, she can be quite threatening when she wants to. But of course, I'm close friends with Saya, so something at this level couldn't even faze me. Running out of girl voices. Excuse me, could you please not assume something so ridiculous? We just happened to be leaving at the same time. The other guy, Ryoji Kumagawa, doesn't even look like he's acknowledged us at all, even though he did stop walking when I called out to them. Ryoji? Is he ignoring me? Ryoji furrows his brow, staring even more intently at the gaming console on his hands. Whatever. That's true. Ryoji is a video game maniac, so he always seems to have a console in his hands. I swear. Sometimes I can look his way during class and he'll have his console hidden behind his textbooks, as if he really thought such a thing could fool anyone. But despite that, he still gets consistently high grades, so my teachers never really complain about his attitude. Heading home. Ah, he spoke. Is he just feeling a bit shy? It's true that he doesn't tend to participate in conversation unless it's about video games. Were you two visiting your club rooms or something? Kyoko nods, a haughty smile on her face. She's always so prim and proper, but she tends to act all ladylike most of the time. Well, despite her distant attitude, she's not a bad person at heart. I've been made responsible for the fashion club this year, so I was just turning in all the required paperwork at the faculty office. Ryoji nods along too. Dealing with paperwork. For the game dev club. Wait, game dev club? We have one of those at this school? Just as those words leave my mouth, Ryoji glares at me. Unlike Kyoko, having a 6-foot-tall brown bear glaring at you is a really frightening thing, and I can't help but feel a chill running down my spine. Sorry. I swear I wasn't making fun of it or anything. That seems to appease him as his gaze softens up, looking back down at his game. Jeez. It's really not safe to walk around staring at a piece of hardware all the time, you know? What about you, Yuichi-san? Do you also have paperwork to deal with? Oh wait, that wouldn't be right. I thought Saya-chan was the one in charge of the tennis club this year. Yeah, Saya-chan's heading the tennis club. I've been made vice captain, but really, I'm just along for the ride because she made me do it. Whew, that really does sound like Saya-chan. Despite their completely opposite personalities, I've heard that Saya and Kyoko have become good friends since we met 3 years ago. Although Kyoko still spends most of her time around class rep. They've known each other since childhood, after all. Well, if it's not paperwork, then what are you doing here? There are no club meetings for us regular folk right on the first day of class, and your club doesn't even have a room here in the first place. Well, Katsuragi-sensei sort of asked me to go meet her. Kyoko's expression immediately goes dark. Wow. What did you do to piss her off this time? Why do you just assume I did something wrong? This is you we're talking about. You just have that quality that pisses off most teachers. Hey! I think so too. Ryoji nods, his eyes still on his game console. Don't just casually agree with her on that. Kyoko laughs. Even when she's casually goofing around, her mannerisms are incredibly refined. Well, she is the daughter of a pretty wealthy family. In fact, they actually own this school. Well, make sure to tell me the story behind it later. I'd love to hear what kind of punishment the old hag has cooked up this time. See you tomorrow. Don't say cruel things so casual. Oh, she's gone. She really is good at slipping away unnoticed. Is it a cat thing? Ryoji is still here though. Hey, Ryoji, what game are you playing right now? Moonfighter Rangers. That one game based on that children's anime? How many seasons does that thing even have? I think I remember it airing when I was 8. Ryoji nods casually, not bothering to confirm or deny what I just said. As always, making conversation with him can be hard. Is the game fun? He looks up at me with a conflicted expression. Hey, what's with that look? Shouldn't you be heading to see the teacher? He caught me on the fact that I was trying to stall. Yeah. You can be surprisingly perceptive at times, Ryoji. Unnecessarily so. Ryoji nods, pulling a piece of toast from his bag and munching on it. Wait, a piece of toast? From his bag? The hygiene implications of what I've just witnessed scare me a bit. See you tomorrow. Yeah, see ya. Off he goes. I'm jealous. I wish I could walk away like that. I've walked all the way to the 3rd floor where the faculty office is located. I don't want to go in. But I know that if I don't show up soon, she'll only get angrier. Better to get this over with. Kind of like ripping off a band-aid. Even though ripping off a band-aid is incredibly painful for me because they always wind up ripping a ton of fur off too. Alright. I won't get anything done if I just stand around. Take a deep breath and... The sound of my knock echoes through the empty hallway. My heart is beating really fast right now. Even though I've been skipping these things since my first day of class, this is the first time I've been called in because of it. I kind of just assumed I'd be getting special treatment because of my status as a tennis player. Another woman voice. Come in. Pardon the intrusion. It doesn't take much looking around to find Katsuragi-sensei. She's sitting on her chair, legs crossed and turned all the way to look at the door. She has her head leaning against her closed fist, and she looks incredibly intimidating for a regular old woman. Michimiya, I was wondering how long it would take you to show up. Just from her tone of voice, I can already tell that the situation is mostly hopeless. No, I'll still try to act dumb. Maybe that'll save me. I wish. Michimiya-kun, you must know why it is that I've called you over, right? Well, to be perfectly honest, it's not as if I don't particularly know what kind of reason would lead you to decide against not calling me... You're talking in circles to try and confuse me now. That's cute, but it certainly isn't going to work. Sit. Yes, ma'am. Thoroughly defeated. We certainly appreciate the amount of exposure your name has given this school. And it's not as if you're doing badly with your studies either, given that you're already placing quite high in the school ranks. Yes, see, I'm doing pretty well, so... Let me finish. Yes, ma'am. Katsuragi-sensei sighs, picking up a folder that was on top of her desk and opening it up. Is that a file on me? I can see here that your academic records continue to worsen with each passing year. All of your teachers keep mentioning a continuing lack of interest on your part. Not only that, if I pull up your records from grade school and middle school, the drop is almost immediately apparent. Well, one can't live solely on past accomplishments, right? If that was the only reason for this drop, then I'd certainly let you off the hook. But we both know that's not the real reason so may we just cut to the chase? Scary. She's really scary. Katsuragi-sensei used to be our homeroom teacher up until last year, but she recently got a promotion and became the head teacher and coordinator for the school. So she doesn't have any classes to deal with this year, and instead oversees the progress for all the classes in school. It's an unenviable position. Just thinking of the amount of work she must have already gives me a headache. If only you were trying hard, then I could forgive you for this. It's not as if a person can continue to excel for their entire life. Drops in productivity are to be expected. But you've completely stopped trying, haven't you? I've also spoken to your coach, and he's told me that you've completely stagnated when it comes to tennis as well. What could he know about it? It's not like he even bothers coming to prep. I wasn't done talking. Yes, ma'am. Coach Mikado theorized that you've been going through a rough period caused by extreme stress due to all the expectations placed on you for the past 6 years. If that is the case, I'd very much like for you to see our school's psychiatrist and, with all due respect, but would that be obligatory? Well, No. We cannot force a student to see a psychiatrist unless he's deemed to be in direct need of psychological assistance. Then I'll pass. I'm fine on my own, thank you very much. I don't have any complicated problems like that. I'm just not interested in paying attention to class, that's all. She sighs again, rubbing the bridge of her nose with a furrowed brow. So, you'll prefer taking full responsibility for your failures over letting someone help you deal with your situation? Given your talents, I imagined you would want to become a professional. That's... I can't bring myself to confidently say that's my plan. I'll let you off the hook this time. Huh? Why? I did just say that I've been doing all this on purpose, haven't I? Call it intuition, if you will. But I don't believe punishing you for your lack of motivation will somehow help you to become more motivated. I stand up from my chair with a half jump, suppressing the urge to grab her in a tight hug. Thank you, Katsuragi-sensei. You really are much nicer than I gave you credit for. Of course. We have yet to discuss your punishment for skipping on this morning's assembly. Yeah. The old fox smiles, looking up at me with a devious look. What? You didn't really think that I'd also give you a pass for willingly and with full knowledge of your actions skipping the assembly to welcome our newest students for the third time in a row, did you? Of course not. The thought never even crossed my mind. I'm doomed. I end up being forced to be on cleaning duty for the next week as punishment for my actions. Considering everything I've done, I suppose I had it coming, but I really wish I had managed to go home free. Huh? What's this? Now that I think about it, I think I can hear something? It sounds like music. Come to think of it, there's a music room nearby, isn't there? But I thought the only music club still operating in our school was the Light Music Club. This sounds more like classical piano. Not that I know anything about music in the first place. It's just a feeling that I have. Is someone using it at this hour? It's almost 6 p.m. I guess I'm a little curious about it. Whoever it is, this person plays really well. Maybe this is a recording? No, but it's not coming from any of the school's speakers. The audio quality is too high. It really sounds like the real deal. Maybe I could go take a look. It certainly wouldn't hurt to take a peek. Before I can even consciously make a choice, I feel as if my legs are working on their own, dragging me towards the origin of the music. It's as if the piano is calling out to me. I want to listen from up close. No, I need to listen from up close. But who could be playing this? The Classical Music Club has been disbanded a few years ago. All that's left is an old room with some dusty instruments. Maybe it's a teacher? Or a freshman? No, wait. Club activities haven't started yet, so there's no way they'd allow a freshman to be using the club room already. Before I notice it, I'm already at the door. That was really close. I nearly walked in without thinking. How would that person even react to it? What would I even say? Sorry I barged into the room, but could you keep playing the piano for me? But then again, this does sound really good. Crap. I'm just going around in circles with this logic. Screw it. I'll just sneak in. The piano is so loud they might not even notice in the first place. I slide the door open as gently as I can. I peek in curiously into the room, looking around for the source of the music. And that's when I see him. A boy sitting in front of the piano, his figure bathed by the orange rays of the sun that are coming in from the nearby window. He rocks back and forth to the rhythm of the music, his fingers dancing above the keys in a flurry of strokes that are too fast even for me to properly track. The entire time, this pleased smile is plastered across his face, never faltering for even a second. And speaking of which, are his eyes closed? How can someone even play a piano without looking at it? How could that even be possible? Droplets of sweat drip down his face, but its expression doesn't falter for even a second. Damn, this guy's intense. His fur, an intense fiery orange when tinted by the evening sun's rays, sways gently from side to side with each and every movement of his body. I can feel the music slowly enveloping me, almost as if it really were calling me. It's telling me to come closer. I can't take my eyes off of his performance. I can feel his music echoing deep inside of me. I don't even know what I'm doing, but I know I want to feel more of it. I feel a tightness in my chest as if I might suffocate, and yet it's not unpleasant at all. It's like countless waves are crashing against my body. Everything else is blurry, muddled. The boy and his piano are the only thing in focus. They're the only thing that feels real right now. The closer I get, the harder it is to keep my thoughts in order. I can't even notice whether my legs are moving or not, but it's still a fact that I'm approaching him. Nothing else feels important right now, so I ignore everything else and just focus on his piano. The piano. Then as if the spell was broken, I'm jolted back to reality by the pain shooting up my leg. It seems that, in my days, I need one of the tables by accident. It freaking hurts! Son of a... wait. The piano stopped? I look back to the piano and... the tiger is holding onto the piano, trying to keep himself from falling from his chair? Wait, he fell backwards from his chair? Whoa! But... he gets back up on his knees, bringing a hand to his head and rubbing it painfully. Ow! And that's where we'll end this one. Looking at June's buttocks. We're almost done with day one. It'll only take 3 episodes. It's fine. As always, I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.